Hello, YouTube. So today we are going to be talking about our first foster placement. So we hurry and finish licensing. And at the time, some of our good friends were also getting licensed. So that kind of helped push us along too. And then within a month of being licensed, we got our first call. I was a behavioral analyst, and I was with one of my clients, and I got the call, and I about pooped myself. I was so nervous. This placement was interesting because you're allowed to specify
the age you want,
even the gender, the race. We were open on every aspect other than the age.
Yeah.
We had a limit on age.
We wanted 0 to 6 year old. It was what we were, because we went into foster care wanting to adopt, and we didn't want to adopt an older kid.
Sounds rude and bad, but like, we're doing this to start a family, and I don't want to feel like I'm their older sister.
Yeah.
Put an age limit, but we didn't care race, we didn't care gender, we didn't care any of that.
None of that. All it was age.
Most of their history I could care less about.
Yeah.
I know a fair amount about trauma and crappy situations from my own childhood, but when we got the call, there was a 9-year-old.
9-year-old boy.
And for privacy purposes, we'll call him Ben.
Ben, sure.
I just call him Ben.
Ben.
So Ben was being presented to us, and the unique thing about this placement is they knew that we were really good friends with our other friends that had just gotten licensed at about the same time as us, and they had offered Ben's little brother to them, and then they also, this little boy and the little boy they were taking in also had a sister that was being placed in a different home here in the area. And the reason why they were separating the siblings for placement is because they've been in and out of a lot of foster homes, and they kind of just said it like together they were a little too much to handle.
Yes.
I felt under a lot of pressure to do this.
We were a little hesitant because we went into foster care wanting to adopt, and they told us that it's not like these kids are not adoptable. Is that even a word?
Yeah,
for
the
adoption,
case was going in more of the direction of reunification with family, which is awesome. It wouldn't lead to the goal that we were hoping anyways.
But we did kind of want to like try out the system a little bit, see what it was kind of like.
If you know me, my heart, like I just really felt for this child, and I was the same age he was when a lot of things that I went through happened. But it was a concern that he was 3 years older than what we were hoping for.
Yeah, 3 years older than the maximum age.
Sounds so bad, but it's like you'll learn, like in foster care, you, your husband, your wife, your family, and your current kids come first. It is so important to prioritize your marriage and your family over foster care. Like, I know that sounds bad, but if like this ain't good,
then it's not gonna work.
Just to kind of put an asterisk here too, when a caseworker calls you with a child for placement, I used to be naive about this. They don't always know a lot. And in their defense, they are put in a position where they have to place a child very quickly and find them a home very quickly. And the caseworker's defense, the placement worker's defense, like, she told us as much as she could and knew at the time, but at the same time I feel like a lot of information was left out of what we would actually be having to deal with, and have like taken classes and training. I do understand that like it's not like they did it on purpose. They really are put in a crappy position where they have to quickly find these kids a safe home.
Ben got to a point where he would like to buy a couple of things for himself. And so it was like close to Halloween, right? Yeah, it was close to Halloween. He saw this really cool Halloween mask.
We let him earn it by doing like chores and things.
We told him, hey, we'll help you buy it if you do some of the chores, like picking up dog poop or pulling some weeds and stuff. Because again, that's structure.
To slavery work. It was just like house chores.
Just house chores, but like part of the structure system. Like, these kids need structure, and you know, I would be out there with him. The
placement worker really encouraged like a system like that to help him feel like he has a place, something to work for.
And he actually did a pretty good job, and so we ordered a Halloween mask. And you know, there was one night he came to us and said, "Hey, can you guys buy me a pocket knife? He really thinks knives are cool." And I was like, you know what?
And we got permission from the worker and his dad and mom.
Yep, that he could have a pocket knife.
Everyone was okay with it.
Yep. And so I was like, you know what? We'll discuss about it.
You're probably thinking, are you an idiot for letting?
He's like, I'll do double the chores. I really saw this cool pocket knife.
It's just
I would
like
really
a little, any boy wants.
No, I was a little boy that had a pocket knife. I would go like
my
scout
brothers all
camps
have
and
pocket knives.
you know,
Like this isn't
sticks.
this. We're not crazy getting a kid a pocket knife. Like it's a normal thing.
So probably the next night we were just lying in bed after bedtime.
The three of us just having fun, just talking about life, and then out of nowhere, he was like doing these attention-seeking behaviors where he was like trying to hurt himself.
Which normally you could like talk him out of it or like, talk
but
through it.
You're also kind of like supposed to kind of ignore it and be like, that's not funny, like let's not do that. Let's try this instead, like kind of direct the behavior to a more positive, like resourceful behavior.
And it worked until...
And all of a sudden he went into the kitchen and came back and he had a steak knife.
He had one of our kitchen knives.
And he was like threatening to hurt himself.
Oh, it was really scary.
My heart like dropped, cause like I didn't really fear for my life. Like I didn't think he would hurt me, but I was like, oh my gosh, like there's a 9-year-old holding a knife. Like what do? I can't charge him.
Saying that he's ready, you know.
Like I know like you're not supposed to like not take people seriously when they do this, and trust me, we were taking him very seriously.
Very serious.
But I knew he wouldn't do anything. I knew he wasn't one of those behaviors where he really needed attention.
Yep.
For whatever reason, like something had triggered him. And I don't even remember how, but I got the knife away and we explained to him how that's not okay. We hid the knives in her closet. And that very night I called you can call foster care system, and like they direct you to, like, if you have an incident like that, they immediately set you up with a therapist. And so that next morning I had to sit there with Ben and the therapist on the phone, and he basically got psychoanalyzed based on that situation. And the questions he was asked were awful.
Crazy. Like, why do you want to end your life? Why do you want to hurt yourself? It
was so sad. But the therapist also concluded that they have full faith that he wasn't going to hurt himself, that he was just in an attention-seeking behavior. But that kind of kick-started really diving into, is it right for us to have Ben in our home? I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you're considering... Because we were put in just to paint you a mental picture, Ben was miserable. It was not a good match. Like, we had a very hard time no matter what we did bonding with him, and I know that's very normal and we can't just give up easily because of that, but that was just one factor. I had a job where I was constantly stuck on the computer and never able to interact with him, but I had to do what I had to do to pay the bills. So he was stuck a lot just on the TV or playing video games, which is not healthy for any kid. You were at work full time. My mental health was like plummeting. We were triggers for each other, essentially. And if you know the seriousness of trauma triggers, you know how bad that can be. And it took many weeks and many phone calls with the placement lady through foster care. She's the one in one of our phone calls that was like, I think we need to place him somewhere else. It wasn't a diss on us or our ability to do it. Like, everyone in the situation was just realizing this is not healthy for anybody.
Yeah.
He needs to be in a home where the foster parents are better trained. We were told he was a certain level in foster care. There's levels of how, I guess, tough they are. We were told he was a lower level. He's really the highest level of behavioral issues.
Yeah, they didn't tell us that.
And I mean, I guess, I don't know if they really knew that or not, but we were not equipped. We were first-time foster parents, and that was our experience.
With an expectation to have a 0 to 6-year-old, got a 9-year-old.
Not that that would be perfect, but it's definitely not what we were trained for. And they had this foster family in mind for him that had extensive training, had strict schedules, had a lot of kids, a huge farm life yard where he could play and really thrive. and like work on getting better. And they were super close in his case to being reunited with mom and dad.
Yep.
So you can dishonest all you want, but sending him to another foster home
was definitely
the best decision for Ben and us. That was essentially our first experience, our first foster placement. Definitely didn't put the best taste in our mouth.
So if you're a new foster parent or thinking about becoming a foster parent, I would suggest first ask as many questions as you can.
I would prepare a list of questions ahead of time.
Yes.
That are like your deal breakers when taking in a foster child, because you are allowed to have deal breakers.
Yeah.
Your family is more important. Your relationship, your marriage is most important. And when you get that call, you're gonna be freaked out. You're gonna be on edge. You're gonna be flustered. Mm-hmm. Your heart is gonna want to say yes no matter what. You need to be prepared to like ask the right questions, because I didn't know what questions to ask. I didn't know what to ask, and I was so flustered.
And we'll do another video on boundaries. It's very important to have boundaries within the home, but also have boundaries with caseworkers and the system. Like, you gotta ask questions, find out kind of the age group that you want, and ask like your spouse, like, what do you guys want in your family? If you're going the adoption route or if you're just trying to help out, you know, try to figure those things out before you get that first placement call, so you guys are a little bit more ready. And to be honest, it's okay to say no. It's okay to tell them we do not want this child right now.
We took it too far, but
we were just really excited to jump in.
But it was all in good heart. Like, we just wanted to help so bad.
We wanted to help. We wanted to try it out. You know, we just got licensed. Like, hey, why not? And it was a good experience, but like it was really hard on our relationship. It was really hard on Ben's lifestyle, or whatever you want to call it.
The good news is it all worked out. Like, eventually they were all placed with mom.
Yep.
We've heard that they're doing good. I think they moved back to Salt Lake. It's honestly been over 2 years since I've heard anything. But wait, yeah, over 2 years.
It's been over 2 years.
So I have no idea, but the last I heard 2 years ago, things were doing well for him, and it worked out. And eventually we'll share our next experience. Our next experience is gonna be about a little baby.
A little baby boy.
Aww.
Thank you for watching this video. If you really liked it, please subscribe.
Again, I have no idea where the button is on the screen.
Yeah, we still haven't found it.
Find it and click it. That can be our mantra.
Go follow 5 and a Snap on Instagram, and please comment on these videos. We've gotten quite a few comments and stuff like that.
Remember to be nice.
Yep, love.
We're doing the best we
love.
can.
We love, not hate. What is this, video number 5 and we still stink at it?